Hello, we are going to talk about graphs. What is a graph? What does it look like? What do we use them for and what should we be extra careful about? A graph is drawn in a coordinate system. As is discussed in the video about coordinates and also in the video about number lines, a coordinate system consists of two number lines. We often call the horizontal axis the x-axis and the vertical axis the y-axis, as we will do in this video. So then, what is a graph? Well, this is a graph. A graph is just a coordinate system with a line. And this line does not necessarily have to be straight. In fact, it can have any shape. But then what does this line mean? Well, it is basically the essence of a graph. A graph is just a way to provide information. If you make one, which you can learn in the video Formula, Tables and Graphs, you do this to provide clear and concise information. This can be very useful for yourself, but also to provide other people with information. And information is nice. I'm gonna take a shit. That is too much information. Too much information is not nice. In this case, the graph is already given. The line connects x and y values. It says which value is connected to which value. Say you want to know which y value belongs to a x value of 2. Then you go up at the x value of 2 until you hit the line. When you do, you go left and you see where it hits the y-axis. In this case at a value of 20. So we conclude that a x value of 2 corresponds with a y value of 20. It is not always the case that you go up at your x value. It completely depends on where the line is at your x value. So if we check the x value of -4, we have to go down. And then we hit the line, we go right to find a corresponding y value of -40. These were just two examples, but this applies to all the values you can see in your graph. The graph provides information about which x value is connected to which y value. Yes, good question. This all sounds a bit vague with all those x and y values. A graph is made to provide information, so let's do exactly that. Say you have a job and you want to know how long you have to work before you can buy a certain game. Then a graph may be very useful. We now have the hours of work on the x-axis and the salary on the y-axis. You can now quickly see how much you have earned after 4 hours of work. A bit less than $30, I would say 28. And the other way around is also possible. If you want to buy a game of $40, how long do you have to work? We can easily deduct that. We need to work almost 6 hours to buy that game. And this also illustrates the downside of graphs. They are not extremely accurate. So you need to work precise in order to get the right values. That applies both to making and reading a graph. Finally, we look at something that is easily overseen when you start using graphs. Say we have the following graph. If we want to know which y value corresponds to a x value of 6, we already know how to do this. Try it yourself. I hope you found 20. But what if we ask the same question but the other way around? So we want to know which x value belongs to a y value of 20. Well, this seems simple, right? It's the same question. Okay, that seems to work out, but it is not entirely right. Because your answer is not complete. Take another look. You see, 6 is not the only solution. Because on the left side of 20, we also have a corresponding x value. In this case, -6. So the answer to the question which x value belongs to a y value of 20 is -6 and 6. So I want to emphasize you need to carefully check exactly what is asked and also double check if you actually found what is asked for. I hope you now have a solid picture of what a graph can do for you. It provides clear and concise information, but it is important to work neatly. If you have already watched the video about formulas and the video about tables, I strongly recommend watching the video Formulas, Tables and Graphs. In that video you learn how to connect all these seemingly different things, and that is nice information. Subscribe and see you next time.